Jesus said, "Man cannot live on bread alone, but from every word that proceeds from the mouth of God." You're listening to Daily Truth.
There is a baseless denial that is actually a thinly veiled form of cowardice. So you can be, right, we want to be courageous, but did you know you can be cowardly in at least two ways? You can be cowardly by sitting in your basement for the rest of your life, and getting booster shots every 3 weeks. Like you can be cowardly in that way. But you can also be cowardly by a baseless denial. We don't admit it, and we may not even be consciously aware of it. But one way that we kind of avoid things that scare us is we deny them. It's not real. So we do need to be careful. We need to be seasoned and reasonable. And we don't need to have the pendulum overswing and end up in the ditch on the other side of the road in our ability to try to autocorrect. If that makes sense, right? So COVID is real. Connor, he's a nurse. Hospitals have been packed. There are some real things going on. Now that said, some of it's COVID, and it's amazing that COVID cured the flu, right? That there's no flu anymore. But so even with that, you got to take it with a grain of salt. We need to be discerning in this time. But the point is, the things that were going on in the days of Martin Luther, the things that were going on in the days of Charles Spurgeon, when they said, "I don't want by my presence to inflict unknowingly, accidentally harm," they're talking about two different things. One, they're not necessarily talking about the Lord's Day gathering. And number two, they are talking about diseases that wiped out a third of the population. Smallpox and polio are not the same as COVID. It's just not. My mother's dad, from the age of 25 to the day he died, was in a wheelchair because of polio. Right? So you don't have to be anti-vaccine to say, I think there's some fishy business with this particular virus and this particular vaccine and what we're hearing in this time. And so we want to be careful with that, though, because we need the caveats. We need the disclaimers, because we don't want people to tune us out as wacky, weirdo Christians. We want them to hear what we have to say because we have something from God's Word, something that's true, something that's beneficial, something that is helpful.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, would you consider supporting this ministry by giving a donation of any amount? You can do so by going to our website, rightresponseministries.com. Let's be frank. Sadly, many evangelical pastors and leaders are serving as nothing more than water carriers for the political left. Just as those in the political left hate you, just like those corporations that are left-leaning hate you, these pastors and evangelical leaders hate you. I know that's a strong statement to make. I'm aware of that, but it's true. They don't care about your personal liberty. They don't care about your freedom. They want you to love your neighbor at the expense of biblical truth, even if it means bearing false witness. That's not us. We're different. We're not the only ones. I don't want to be arrogant. God has reserved a remnant for himself in this time, as he has all other ages and all other places, but they are few and far between. It's called a remnant for a reason. We need your help. We want to stand up to tyranny. We want to stand up to this new left totalitarian regime. We want to defend Christians and people, the salt of the earth, who love America and who love God's word. But we can't do it without your help. If you're not prepared or able to give a financial gift, one way that you can support this ministry is by simply subscribing to our YouTube channel and clicking the bell so that you'll be notified as we come out with new content. You can also help us by sharing our content on all your social media platforms so that more people can hear the truth of God's word with courage and fidelity. Thanks for tuning in. God bless.